Welcome to the ITM Podcast.
This is episode 268 of the ITM Podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the CLNS Media Network, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. My name is Joey Copponi and Scott Neville. Scott, how you doing?
I'm good.
I usually don't open it like that, do I?
I don't know. I don't listen when you talk.
Yeah, that's true. What were you going to say, dude? How are you? I really care to listen.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's great. This is the first time we've done like a two of us with facial hair episode.
You have facial hair in there?
Yeah, dude. What are you talking about? Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah. No, I
legit
see
facial
it.
hair.
Wow. Look at you, caveman.
I know.
Yeah, go watch this on the YouTube if you can even recognize Scott. How'd you do that in a week?
It's only been like a day and a half, actually, if you could believe it.
Wow, I can believe that. Can I say something?
Yeah.
A couple of thoughts, but I have to get something off my chest to the loyal listeners of Inside the ITM, which is not a dual podcast. You guys are not missing some behind the scenes Patreon only show or something.
Can you imagine?
I just went to call it Inside the Monster and then stopped myself because everybody still calls it Inside the Monster, but I can't call it Inside the Monster. Two things about Inside the Monster. One, I'm going to start calling it Inside the Monster. The 3-year deal that Odyssey had, it's up. It expired like 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to call it that until I get sued, which could be right now when you guys are hearing this. And two, I'm saying this because I want to be fully transparent and fully honest. These are my least favorite shows of the year. This is my least favorite time to be doing this show because they're during the off season, especially this off season, so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. And this year was a great year for it. It was a quick off season. It was jam packed. There was, internal rumors, external rumors, and acquisitions, and extension talk and trade talk and signings and blah blah blah. And this season's going to be very fun to talk about. But this spring, it's like you have two options. 3 options. One, you talk about the fucking games, which, like, why would you do that? 2, you talk about the rumors and the scuttlebutt and whatever that the players are telling you doesn't matter to them. Or 3, you don't talk about it to honor their you take them at their word and be like, it's not a big deal to them. I guess it's not really a story. And then there's nothing. And then there's nothing. There's like one legitimate thing to look into beyond just being like, well, Crochet looks sick again. That's awesome. I hope he does that once the season starts. So there's that. But beyond that, man, like, I don't want to keep harping on the Devers thing just because it's the only thing going on. But it is kind of the only thing going on. Do you see the pickle I'm in?
Hey, you're not going to believe this. We're kind of in this thing together.
Do you see the pickle we're in? 2 peas in a pickle? Dude, it's me and you.
2 peas in a pickle, as we always say on the show. I agree, because it's a lot of like, man, like Bregman's off to a hot start. It doesn't matter. Like, none of it matters. Crochet's striking out a lot of guys. It's good to see, but you don't want to talk about the games because if you put emphasis on spring training games, you're a moron. So unless you're talking about like Mikey Romero had a great day today. That's cool. Like, you like to see that.
Right.
That's really the only takeaway I have from spring training recently, and it's super recently, and it's just like, hey, remember he's a first-round pick. Like, he's been hurt every day of his entire professional career, but he's a first-round pick, and he looks like it. And he made Chris Bassett look like, he proved that he could hit major league pitching for real, even though we don't know that because Chris Bassett could just be like, I'm just throwing fastballs only today. So
yeah.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
There's a ton of things to take away from spring training games if you're like watching for pitching, and not in a sense of like just results, but if a guy's working on a splitter, Paul Skeens is integrating a 2-seam. to watch that and be like, ooh, I overlaid his 6-2 seams that he threw in his last appearance, and it changed from the first time he came out. It looks like it has a little bit more run to it. That's about the most interesting thing that can come out of these games. And all of this is to say that the fact that Bobby Dahlbeck is 0 for 7 with the Chicago White Sox in spring training means nothing. It means nothing. Is it more than that now? Let me check.
You don't have
but
to.
yeah, no, I mean, talking with any kind of emphasis, I think is the best way to put it. Like, talking with any kind of emphasis is just so fucking lame. Yeah, 0 for 7. 0 for 7. He's got a walk, though. 2 walks.
We're good.
Miss him already. The big thing to take away, if you want to get into the drama and the spill the tea of spring training, let me tell you something, Scott. People who don't care about sports, they're in my life. I have them in my life, and they'll still ask, like, "Ooh, what's going on with the Red Sox? Like, fill me in." Ladies in my life be like, what's going on? My mom.
Yeah.
I got 11 sisters.
That's right. I always forget about that. That's right. You do have.
I got neighbors. I just had an Oscar party that you weren't at, and like some people were.
Oh, you did have it.
Yeah. There were 6 people here. It wasn't a party.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's just you told me it was going to be canceled. So
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I did cancel it, and then I uncanceled it, and then I probably should have canceled it again. But I had like a couple of friends here.
So that's cool.
It was hardly. Here's the thing: you got to know the crowds. You got to crowd manage a little bit and be like, you know what? Like, if Scott would love this if there were 20 people here, but 6 of them are here, and Scott would come here and be like, "Wow, this is a long drive for a very awkward experience here." And we're really sitting on the couch all together watching the Oscars, huh?
5 of your closest friends would have been completely applicable to me. I'm sure we would have had the same exact interest. You don't have any other weird side hobbies outside of baseball, and I'm sure it would have just been like just a bunch of. I'm sure it would have been the same thing as me sitting with Stro and Mackie and Sebi and Steve.
It would have been the same thing as when we go to the club. Yes.
Yep.
As my friends are like coming from theater rehearsals to come here and watch the Oscars. Anyway, what I'm getting at is when people in my life who are not sport, this is the kind of shit people do care about. Like telling them about like, ooh, so the Red Sox have like a franchise third baseman, and they just signed another infielder, and everybody assumed he was going to play second base, but now it kind of seems like he's going to play third, and they're going to make their franchise star be the designated hitter, and like that's kind of stirring up some. People do care, and they get like, ooh, spill the tea. Okay, so how does he feel about it? What did he say? Like, people do give a shit. And the newest chapter in the story is just a weird one. I can't think of a better. I've been writing notes for the show. I was like, there's got to be a better way to put this than weird. Don't make that face when I say taking notes for the show. I write notes for the show.
I didn't make a face at all.
You made a face.
Unintentional face. The only thing I was thinking of that entire time you're talking is there's a guy on TikTok who literally does this exactly to his wife, where he takes football news and he turns it into like, he explains it like gossip. Like and this is what he would do. He'd be like, well, here's the deal. Devers has been like the guy for the Red Sox. And then but they signed this guy, Alex Bregman, who all the fans are excited about, and he's also a third baseman. And Devers was then like, I am not moving. And Bregman's been like super chill about it, but there is some drama. Like, we don't know, because only one person can play the position, and then Devers would have to move to DH. It's like, but it's his team. And they explain it like it's like a Kardashians type of thing, and that's exactly what you're doing. And this is a thing.
That's what sports media is. It's gossiping. It's professional gossiping.
100%.
We get up here and go like, did you guys see that? And also, I talked to them and I heard this. That's what it is. It's a gossip magazine, but it's, the Boston Globe. Shout out the Boston Globe, I guess. I don't know. But it's, you know what I mean? It's a newspaper article. It's fucking barstoolsports.com. It's whatever now. CLNS, I guess I could plug our own company. But that's what it is. And the whole, old head, like, just play the game. Let me know when the game starts. It's like, didn't you not a fan? Like, the game is a part of what happens. But like, if you went into a coma for 10 years, Scott, 20 years, right? You wake up and you're like 38. It's a young joke. You wake up and you're 38 years old, 20 years in the future, and someone puts on the Red Sox. You're like not gonna care because you don't know those fucking guys. You'd be like, oh, I'm a Red Sox fan. Tell me about these guys. You would turn to your buddies and be like, who's the shortstop? Where did he go to school? What is he like? And they would be like, oh, dude, he got arrested last year. They caught him spray painting the Tobin. You know what I mean? The story matters. Story fucking matters.
It. I completely agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm emphasizing and killing time here also. But I don't know. I'm passionate about this shit. It's what I do for a living. The newest chapter is a fucking weird one. Where it doesn't even seem like Alex Bregman's being considered at second base. They've entirely moved on from that idea. It sounds like the conversation is like Von Grissom, David Hamilton, Christian Campbell.
Yeah.
Which, at face value, if you take a step, like I get improving the defense, there's deeper meanings you can take here once you know all the facts. But at face value, it's going out of your way to put a objectively worse lineup together. You are removing Yoshida essentially to put in Von Grissom.
That's not true.
To put in David Hamilton.
Maybe Bregman doesn't start in the starting lineup. You ever thought about that? Maybe Devers is going to keep playing third, and maybe Bregman hasn't made the cut versus Hamilton and Grissom and Campbell.
They just really want him to not opt out after this year. They're like, oh, the open market after you got 12 plate appearances? I don't think that's going to work.
That's not a good idea.
I wouldn't do it. I would opt in. 2026 Red Sox,
They'll
here we go.
They'll be thinking there's got to be a way better reason that we only gave him 12 plate appearances than like we just went with Von Grissom and didn't want you to opt in.
There's just like I don't know. It's so
everyone
strange.
Gets that wrong.
Grisham?
What did we? You opt? No. The opt. You opt in.
You exercise your player
option to stay. That's what it is. It's not opt-in versus out. It's exercising that everyone in the world.
You exercise your option to stay.
Yes. Yeah, like a player option, you don't exercise it to leave,
and then you leave.
Which everyone has backwards.
Yes,
except for Jeff.
Jeff's got it. Jeff. All hail Jeff. It's just weird, man. It's just weird, and I can't help but think here's a little tinfoil hat shit. It just feels a little bit like preparing for the worst with Devers, because he's not happy. He's not like he's giving you all the quotes where he says like, "Hey, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anybody." Would you be mad? Would you be mad if you were the franchise cornerstone and they brought in somebody to take your position? I'm not mad. Do I look mad? I got my kids back home. I got chickens on my farm. If I was an animal, I'd be a chicken. I don't know if you saw that video. That was funny. But like, I'm not mad. He's obviously so fucking mad. He's not playing in spring training games. They say it's because his timing's not there and wants to see more live ABs. You can do that in a spring training game. It feels a little bit like preparing for the worst. Like if Devers is this upset or not ready by opening day to have a full infield minus Rafael Devers, whether or not he's ready to DH.
I think
what
that
feels like to me?
Yeah, I think that's an exaggeration.
Sure.
I think it's gonna be
Listen,
fine.
It's a gossip TV show.
Absolutely. But I just think, hey, chill out, dude. March 6th. I think it's early I think a lot of guys don't start really doing spring training for a while. The guys that have literally nothing to prove like Devers. I haven't seen a whole lot of Jared Duran this year.
He's played though.
You've played.
I would play if they asked me to.
You would play if they asked you to?
Yeah, for like no money.
Wow. He has had 15 at bats, I guess.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like it.
That's
Maybe it's because
more
I'm
than
not.
double what Bobby Dahlbeck has got. And Bobby Dahlbeck is like the spring training guy.
That's. I mean, I'm not sure that's the most like relevant point ever, but like, yeah.
I kind of nailed it actually. I think that's kind of great what I said there. I don't know, man. It's strange. It's a weird chapter in the saga. And things had been so high, and then it's not that they're down. It's just that they're weird. They took a weird turn. This almost feels like a bottle episode. You know, like you watch Severance?
I do, yeah. I
Okay,
just
so are
started
you
watching Severance? I'm all the
So
way
you're
up.
not up to like season 2 yet?
No, I am. No, when I say we just started it, I mean like probably like a month ago. But like we were way behind the train, but now we're caught up.
Okay, so you're all the way caught up.
Yes.
All right, if you're not caught up, there's going to be some Severance spoilers for the next like 90 seconds here. In season 2, there's that episode where it starts and they are outside in that like snowy
The
thing.
innies are outside.
The
innies are outside.
The innies are outside. And you're like, whoa, did I miss something? Well, like there was a lot going on. Just a second ago, like I was really invested. There was a ton going on at the end of the last episode. And now, like, this is weird. Why are we doing this like weird side quest? Can we get it's cool or it's like it's interesting, but like I was kind of enjoying what we were just doing. That's what this chapter of the Red Sox kind of is. It's like there was so much going on. We were all so hyped. Now there's this weird like how does the infield work thing? I thought I didn't think this episode was going to happen. So I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not sure. I sure hope that 2 months from now we look at this, this chapter of the story and be like, yeah, that was weird. I'm glad that turned into nothing, but I'm just not fully convinced that it's going to be nothing yet.
I think Devers was just so chill about it. He was just like, they were like, you want a DH? And he was like, it's fine if I have. Yeah, I don't mind it. Sure,
and they're like,
DH.
No, so you don't mind?
It's like, I'll do whatever. He was like, I'm a team player. I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. Remember?
It's a little bit of a. Can I say this real quick? Can we sneaky talk? We never sneaky talk anymore.
We don't usually anymore. Well, it's because okay, that was what you used to do with your ex. So we never did that. We never had those moments. But I'm glad you're bringing
There's
up.
There's something I used to do.
Yeah, I mean, now I heard you guys have been talking too. So
it's not like that.
It does seem like that sometimes.
Listen, no, it's just nice to catch up. We said we would stay friends. We said we would stay friends.
You're just catching up.
I would never host a show with him.
Yeah.
Without
would you have him on this show?
With you there, if you were okay with it, maybe. But
so
I wouldn't even ask.
Before?
That's just
all right. Okay.
I'm gonna sneaky talk something real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
I do wish Devers handled it a little differently. All things considered, I don't like that I have the feeling that I feel about Rafael Devers. Like the feeling that I feel right now about the Bruins and talking about trading Marchand. There's a feeling in my heart that's like, I hate to say this about somebody I love, but it's probably time to move on from Brad Marchand. I feel similar looking at like the Raffy quotes from like 2 weeks ago now and being like, I love you, Raffy. I wish you didn't say this.
I agree. I think he handled it not great. I don't think there's any debate there. I also understand the idea of, from a personal perspective, like if you're, you get a chance to fight for like your position. Like I would do the same thing if that was what we were doing. If it was like, hey, whoa, no, I'm not. Like I want to be. This is what I want to do. I have to do this every single day. This is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, but I don't love it.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't like the feeling that I'm feeling about Rafael Devers.
Especially because Bregman has said the right thing every single time.
I know.
Like he hasn't had there's been no problems there. It's just been like, yeah, I'm chill. and I want to win. And whatever, if we could get 90 wins with me at third and 91 with me at second or whatever, like we're definitely going to do that. We'll take 91 wins.
I got another point about Bregman being chill and all that. First, though, I wanted to say that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball, hockey, esports, and much more. I used to be really into the esports, which should be shocking to nobody at all. I used to be really into the Overwatch League. I missed the Overwatch League. Does anybody remember the Overwatch League? Nobody, absolutely zero people are in with what I'm talking about. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed! Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like, say it, Scott?
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value to your lineup. So download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Bregman is going on the road games with the kids. You seeing this? You see this? You hear about this? You see this?
No, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's one of the only things. I'd be shocked if you didn't see it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was Marcelo Meyer who was giving an interview with. Tell me, Scott.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. No, you got it. He was doing an interview with.
Yeah, I know. I'm right with you, Ian Brown.
Was it Ian Brown?
I don't know.
He's been doing it a lot, I guess. Early in the spring, he went out to dinner with Campbell, Meyer, and Anthony. He's been going on the road games, been riding the bus with the fellas. And then when they kind of not gave him shit, but we're like, you're like coming along? He's like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it too. This is the kind of...
I think Buster Olney was the one that reported that weirdly.
Weird. This is the kind of leadership we kind of wanted to see from Devers, where it was like, Devers is not going to be a vocal leader, but he'll just lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I think that's just kind of what you say when somebody isn't that kind of person. You're like, oh, he leads by example. It's like, no, he's just a very good player. That's not leading by example by being very good and then people being like, oh, I want to be that good.
I think you can be a quiet, like, impactful leader in the sense of like going about things the right, like, for example, like just showing up early, working hard, and having people, like, I think of like high school, there wasn't always the most vocal captains, but there were guys that you saw how hard they were working. You saw the way they, like, they came in, it was good grades. It was, this is how you treat teammates. This is how you handle, pregame warm-ups, all the little things. And you just kind of follow that guy's example. And, if you have a question, you can go to him, but it's not going to be somebody that's just being like, hey, this is exactly how we're going to do it. We're not giving pregame speeches. We're not doing that. But it's more just like, I can watch that guy and learn just as much as talking to someone else. So I do think there is that. Like, I don't think I was always the most vocal, but I do think there were people that when I was a senior, I think they learned a good amount from me, like the freshmen and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think that's possible. And there were certainly people above me that I felt the same way about. So
comparing yourself to totally. Alex Bregman, is that what's happening here?
No, because I think Bregman is a little bit better, but at baseball a little bit. But like, I think there is a way to, like I said, there were people older than me that maybe, I mean, there's no comp to like the bus rides and stuff like that, but I do think there are people you can learn from just from watching and leading by example. Like, I do think that's a type of leadership style. I think with Devers, there was no, he's not talkative, and he's not necessarily leading by example. He's just a good player. I think there's a difference.
Yeah. Yes. I think a better comp would be like, this is kind of what people had in mind for like Trevor Story being like
Right.
that guy. But Story, 2 big strikes against him, obviously never around, never playing. And also, when he does play, he hasn't been very good. So it's kind of tough to listen to a veteran who's like, hey, do what I do. And it's like, man, you're hitting 230 for the last 4 years. So I hear you, but like the respect level, I think, is just different versus somebody like Alex Bregman, champion, all-star, blah, 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 blah. It's just different. It's just different. And it just kind of hammers home like what a great fit Alex Bregman is here. Extend him tomorrow. Extend him. I'm all about it. Love Alex Bregman. We should note before we get out of here, because I don't know how much longer we're going to be. I mean, we're 25 minutes into the show. But I also don't know what the fuck else we can really talk about. Garrett Crochet, 7 Ks through 3 innings in his second spring training start. That's just fucking fun to watch. That's just fun to watch. He rocks, dude. Well, no, you can't. I couldn't. I didn't. That's a weird Nesson thing that they're doing where they're like not televising games. Shout out Nesson, by the way. Great job over there. You guys, as a child, Scott, I would have guessed Nesson was one of the richest companies in the world, let alone like New England, to go and lay off a third of your staff. You guys, actually, I think I have a pending. No, I'll say it. You guys fucking suck. You guys fucking suck. What the fuck? I'm not sure. I mean, I know a bunch of folks over there. I'm not sure who's still there, who's not. To be honest, kind of a cavalcade of so I don't work there anymore texts that came in today.
My whole team doesn't exist anymore.
Your old team all gone?
Yeah, I mean, 2 of them got to stay as like managers for a different thing, but they got rid of the editorial team.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It just blew up their website. More Odyssey layoffs too. That flew under the radar.
Yeah, I was focused on my guys.
Oh man, how many Odyssey ones? Lucy Burge is gone. Oh man, lots of people. Good God, man. Such a bummer. Hey, you know what? At least we got Will Fleming. We got Will Fleming over there in the Odyssey booth. We should get Will Fleming on the show soon. We got a bunch of people lined up to get on the show. We were supposed to get a guy on here. You say he's too tall?
Will Fleming, yeah. It's too tall.
He has like a computer though.
He's too tall.
No, I think we can make it work. I think we can make it work.
He's too tall. I don't want him on here.
You ever met him?
Yeah, that's why I know he's too tall.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
The only memorable part of this interaction was me being like, "Oh damn, this dude's tall." Like I don't even know if it was one of those like before the game, like on the field when you're talking to like I don't know, I'm talking to Steve, and then someone that was a camera guy when Steve was at Nesson comes over, and then some other guy comes up to me, and we just have this random assortment of people. Will Fleming ended up in this grouping of who knows when or how many people or who. And I just remember being like, that guy is way too tall to be in the same space as me. Can't have that around me at all.
Can't have that photo circulating. I would love to have a picture of you and Will Fleming. If I got a picture of you and Will Fleming together, it'd go right there.
Yeah.
Right there. It'd be in the background of every single podcast that we do. Need that. I'm going to ask Will. I'll ask Will to come on. We were supposed to have a guest today, but he's like pooping himself or something. Can't come on.
That's wildly not at all like an exaggeration. That was the problem.
Yeah. Once he gets his butt figured out, we got somebody else coming on. Man, I just remembered that Nesson is now a premium channel and that you have to pay to. Oh my god, that just pissed me off double. Pay us, but don't pay your employees. Fuck you. Ugh. If anybody from Nesson needs a job, hit me up. I can't help, but I'll cheer you on.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I could help, but.
Oh, yeah. Hit up Scott. Yeah, Scott's an employer.
No. Go ahead, Joey. You got it, I guess.
No. Because I'll just give them. Okay. If anybody needs to get a job that worked at Nesson, hit me up. I'll give you Scott's personal phone number.
Okay. Hopefully they're editorial and not like video because I can't really help with that. But
yeah, if you're editorial, yeah. I'll pass you over to Scott.
Yeah.
Don't hit up Scott. Hit me up. I'll pass you along to Scott because I got to take a little piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to represent them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they want trouble, you know? I'd hate to have something bad happen to them.
So I'll contact you for all. I'll give you a list of people I want.
Sure. I think that's actually it. I don't have anything else unless you want to sit here and do like name the greatest Red Sox of the 70s.
Wasn't there.
Yeah, me neither. So believe it or not.
Yeah, that's surprising. You got any closing thoughts or anything?
Not really. What about you?
I got two like dumb things. Bam!
It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. What do you got? It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott.
What are your dumb thoughts, dude?
Dude, chill.
You did two dumb thoughts. Give them.
Yeah, I know, but like, I can say you can't say it.
Give me your sick ass thoughts, dude.
So this isn't even really a thought, but MLB The Show released their rankings.
Yeah.
And one thing I thought was interesting, I don't care enough about these rankings, but I thought it was interesting. They rated Devers and Duran both 86, so like the same. And I thought that was interesting that they valued those two players equally. Your thoughts?
That's interesting. Devers being an 86 feels really fucking low. No?
Yeah, I mean, I guess speed and defense would kill him. And I believe his splits are actually, like, his hitting versus left-handed pitching isn't fantastic. So if you go by that, then he's basically he's awesome against right-handed pitching in the batter's box, and that's about it. I guess they agree. Maybe he should just be a great right-handed DH, or right-handed.
You want him to be a right-handed DH?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think he'd be a good right-handed DH. That's like the worst thing that they could do.
Not the worst thing they could do.
I mean, the worst thing they could do is make
Center?
him like a catcher who doesn't hit.
Center?
A center fielder who they only.
I think center would be a problem consistently. Like, I think we'd be like, wow, this guy does not have range.
Remember Abraham Almonte?
Yeah, that guy was. Fun fact: when he left, I had an article get over 100,000 page views on that.
On Abraham Almonte being
it's always
presumably DFA'd. I don't remember.
He elected free agency, but he wouldn't have. Like, he just became a free agent, but you have to elect free agency. So I said, like, Red Sox outfielder elects free agency, and they were like, "Is it Verdugo? Is it It was not.
Oh.
It's Abraham Almonte."
That's funny. Yeah. He just hit my head the other day because I saw Abraham Toro.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's back? And then I was like looking up Abraham Toro Red Sox. And it was like, yeah, they just signed him. And I was like, no, he's been here. And I was thinking of Abraham Almonte.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, but Duran, I guess the argument would be that he's more a well-rounded guy. Well, obviously the speed is a huge part. His defense is actually really good. So
It is.
It's interesting when you're evaluating a player and compositing like an overall or computing an overall. There's an element to like I kind of see where they're coming from. It's just more of what are you going to just base it off of 2024 or the whole pie? Because Duran's done it. Well, I'll say 2 years he's done it. Devers a lot longer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
What are your
think that
thoughts?
they take longevity into account when they're just like, how good are you right now? You know, because they're going to do another overall in a year. So
Yeah, but they also they're trying. There's a little bit of like prediction in that. Like I think they usually use like 3 years of data. So I think there's they're not just going to make a guy that had one good season. Yeah, like if you have an 11-year
Right.
career and you have one good season, they're not just going to make you a 90 reliever. Like they're
yeah.
so.
Fair.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think Duran. I think Duran feels a little low. I would have them at like 90 and 88. Devers and Duran, respectively.
So you think Devers is better though? I'm not so much talking about the number. I think that's people can get into that and have a huge argument. It's more just I found it interesting that they were equally valued.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because you could make a case to put either one of them above the other, right?
You think
'Cause,
there's
like-
a case for Duran being better than Devers? Is it just like
I think so.
overall
I mean, he's just a
skill
more
sets?
well-rounded
Yeah,
ball player.
I just think that's interesting that
I mean,
I saw that and it was a little jarring, and then I thought about it and I was like, it kind of makes sense. But I would love to hear what people's opinions are about Devers and Duran being equally valued. I don't care about the fact that they're, overalls or whatever number they are, but what?
Devers had 3.7 WAR last year. Do you want to guess what Duran had?
4.5?
8.7.
Jaron Duran at 8.7.
He had an 8.7 WAR last year. A 129 OPS plus. Devers had a
Yeah.
139 OPS plus. I mean, some of this is positional, but like that's
Well, and ability
a
to actually play
stunning
the
difference.
position.
I mean, also 8.7 WAR is like you start to talk about like MVP votes. I mean, he did get MVP votes.
He was eighth. He was
Yeah.
eighth. I just looked. That's immediately what I went to because I was like, that's right. He did get MVP votes. Yeah, no, he was fantastic. Great player. But
He was
led the
above
league
Yordan
in-
Alvarez in MVP voting.
I mean, he
And
led the league
Skubal.
in plate appearances, at bats, doubles, and triples.
Crazy.
Almost out there every day. One word away from being out there every day, and and he led the league in doubles and triples.
But yeah,
while playing good defense.
and plate appearances and at bats. Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a fucking year.
75 RBIs for a leadoff hitter, 285, 834 OPS. That's I think
It's a damn good season. I mean, I think last year, I think it's. I mean, if you're looking at the last 3 years cumulative, it's tough to argue. I mean, last year's like not close, but I mean, the past 3 years, past 5 out of the last 6 years, Devers has gotten MVP votes.
You know what's weird though? He's never come close to the WAR that Duran had last year.
Yeah.
In fact, he's only gotten.
He's a third baseman and a bad one.
He's gotten half of that twice. Yeah, but if you were Gold Glove's third baseman, I think it's about his defensive value more than the positional value. Like third base versus center, I don't think is crazy different. Like what is? Like I'd
He's
love
a
to see
bad fielder. Is what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah, no, but I mean, you're saying like I don't think it's like first base, for example. Like Nolan Arenado actually. He won a Gold Glove and came in third for the MVP, and he only had a 7.7 WAR. So I guess third base isn't valued super highly. Still, though, crazy for Duran. That's now starting to change my mind. I went into that being like pretty cool. Like that's an interesting debate. Now I you gotta convince me with the WAR argument.
Yeah. Tough to deny. You want to call it a clean 40?
I got one more thing.
Oh, I forgot you had 2 dumb things. Yeah, give me your second thought,
Yeah,
dude.
this one's really dumb and really brief.
Perfect.
Somebody today that works in the same industry as me liked what I was doing, sees there's rankings on SI of like who gets the most page views. It's typically me. It's whatever. I try and be chill about it. One of the other people in my industry reached out to me for advice, but get this, dude. He DM requested me, didn't even follow me. Is that an insane move? I feel like that's an insane move.
Guess who's not getting a reply? Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he shouldn't. That's for sure. He doesn't deserve one.
Did you reply?
I haven't yet. I actually just noticed it while we were I was checking tweets to see if we missed anything, and I saw I had a DM request.
I think you should go and reply and say, "Follow me first."
That's a good way to do it with
that's how you make
person in the space.
That's how you make colleagues in the industry.
Yeah. Let's not. Hey, I don't want to be childish about this, but if you don't follow me, I'm not going to talk to you.
But hey, I don't want to be childish about this. But why the fuck would I respond to your message if you don't follow me?
Yeah.
Ask yourself that.
A little respect, maybe.
Maybe put a little respect on my name, son.
Yeah.
Say
not
that.
to make a big deal out of nothing, but I literally won't talk to you ever again until you follow me.
But I'm about to. I don't want to make a big deal out of nothing. But I'm about to fucking snap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you better apologize and follow me, and then I'll.
You better apologize. Yeah, lead with that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, that was great stuff. Great stuff. Look at that. The full show with nothing happening. We will be back next week. We're gonna have guests. We have to stockpile guests for the next 3 weeks because your boy cannot do the spring training shows, and unless somebody catches on fire, there's. Okay.
Well, our guests keep getting diarrhea. That's the problem. So they're not catching on fire.
That's the problem. Shout out Cotillo. It's entirely put it on the guy. It's not.
It's not Cotillo either. That's the funniest part about it.
Let's let everybody believe it is. Who cares?
They all thought it was a Cotillo. They heard diarrhea, said probably Cotillo.
Yeah. I gotta remember to bleep this out.
I need more details about that later.
Yeah. You can follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 446, just like the war that Rafael Devers hopes to put up in the designated hitter slot this spring. For Scott Neville, I'm Joey Copponi. Go Sox, kid.